back, guys, to my horror / Halloween themed movie reviews in the month of October. It is spooky season, and today I am reviewing the 1982 supernatural horror classic, Poltergeist. I have a question for you guys. You ever had that one horror movie when you watched it as a kid and it terrified you and it traumatized you and you never want to watch that movie again, and you revisited that movie as an adult and you found out that that movie wasn't even scary at all? That's Poltergeist for me. Not to say that this is a bad movie. Poltergeist is the polar opposite of a bad film. This movie, like I said in my intro, this is a classic. I really enjoyed this film, but overall, I don't think this movie is as scary as everybody else says it to be, or at least when people talk about Poltergeist, when they say it's one of the scariest movies of all time, on the level as The Exorcist, and it's terrifying, it's creepy, which I will admit, this movie is creepy. As a matter of fact, this movie is more creepy than it is scary. I feel like that's the more appropriate word to describe this film. Especially with the whole weird conspiracy theories, with some of the actors dying off set, and all the weird stuff about this film and the production. And there's a whole documentary about that too called Cursed Films that they talk about Poltergeist, which I haven't watched yet. This movie, it is very creepy. It's very more whimsical than it is scary. And that's mainly because this movie is written and produced by Steven Spielberg, who I also think might have also co-directed this film, even though Tobe Hooper directed this movie, who also directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And both movies are the polar opposite. Like tonal-wise and atmosphere-wise, very different. I don't feel his style in this movie. I feel more Spielberg style in this film, because it honestly feels more of a family-friendly supernatural horror film. I mean, I don't know if it was marketed as this very scary movie that's gonna come out back in 1982. I'm not completely sure on that. But in today's standards, it's not very scary for a person watching this in 2020. I mean, don't get me wrong, this movie is way better than most of the supernatural and paranormal movie that's coming out nowadays. We've got like 50,000 of them now. This beats the crap out of all of them. One of my biggest positives with this movie, and probably my biggest positive with this film, is the family dynamic. I love the family in this movie. None of the family members feel out of place, especially the siblings, especially the scene where they're at breakfast, they're on the table, and they're going off one another, and they're making fun of each other, and they're joking with each other. None of the family members feel out of place, and nobody feels like they're phoning it in or they're faking a relationship. It all seems very natural, like they are a real-life family. And of course, the best actor in this movie is Heather O'Rourke. May she rest in peace, as Carol Ann. Probably the best child actor in any horror movie, like, period. And I'm not even joking, because especially with her line delivery in this movie, she comes off as so sweet and innocent, but at the same time, the stuff she says isn't really what a normal 5-year-old would say. Like, it's that kind of like, it's innocent, but at the same time it's very creepy, but her performance makes it very believable. And like, just how adorable, just how lovable she is in this movie, is just that it's sad what happened to her. It's sad what happened to her like years later after this movie. It's very tragic, and I can see her having a good acting career after she left this franchise. Also, from a movie from 1982, the practical effects still holds up. Especially that scene where the guy is in the bathroom, he's looking in the mirror, and his skin starts peeling, and the flesh comes off, and you see like all the blood and bones. I'm just like, whoa, 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 that is so amazing. Like, after 38 years, and in 2020, that still holds up. I even love the scene in the first act where we see like the chairs moving on the table and moving on the floor, and it gives that, like I said, that whimsical Spielberg vibe that I've seen in a lot of his films. And it really also made me think that he might have directed this movie or co-directed this movie alongside with Tobe Hooper, because that alone is very Spielberg-like. And the final act in this movie, wow, it is insane. Like, after they rescue Carol Ann from the TV, like, you see all the ghosts and the evil toy clown and all this crazy stuff happening and the house is starting to fall apart. It is probably one of the craziest third acts or one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen in a horror or supernatural movie. Like the stretchy hallway, so many cool creative stuff in this film, especially the scene where the mother like falls into the pool, it's all muddy and dirty, then you see like actual, and I mean actual dead corpses rise up from the pool. Like, it is like creepy, and it sends me chills down my spine, no joke, that they actually use actual dead skeletons in this film, in the pool scene. Like, that alone is just very creepy. I will have to say, other than this movie not being scary at all, my biggest issue with this movie is the second act. I feel like it goes on way too long. I feel like it drags, especially with there's a lot of dialogue and them having to go on this long process of the rescue Carol Ann from the TV. I feel like, for my taste personally, it's the least interesting part of this film. Like, especially where there are a lot of talking, especially the fact that it takes like about 30 minutes at least top to rescue her. And yes, I know you gotta keep the plot going, gotta add stuff to extend the time like to this film, the runtime to this film. But to me, I feel like they could have condensed that just a little bit. A little bit. I get it why it had to be in a movie. I get it to build up Carol Ann actually coming back. But just for me personally, it really drags the film. But overall, guys, other than that, I think this is a great supernatural, probably my favorite like of that genre, just for the fact that this movie is a classic and it has a big impact in the horror pop culture and influenced a lot of paranormal activity movies and supernatural movies to this day. I'm gonna give Poltergeist an A-. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys seen Poltergeist, let me know what you think of the movie in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, if you're new to my channel and you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.